Alright guys, hello. I'm just going to go through a quick game today. I know a lot of people have been leaving comments that they want me to go a little slower and they want me to explain my lines. With this newer mic, I'm more than happy to do so. It's much more comfortable in my head for one thing, and two, I think it works a little bit better. I only played a couple games yesterday. This was a one-on-one game, obviously, since we can watch the replay here. And I'm just going to go through a hand that maybe looked like it was unkeepable to somebody, and why I decided to keep it, and all the different things I was thinking about while I played this game. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to check our opponent's commander. The first thing I notice is he's playing Karthus Tyrant of Jund. That's not a very competitive commander, and in this deck, I know that I can win fast. I'm confident in the strength of this deck, and against a deck like this, I don't mull for aggressively a very good hand. I don't know this player. I don't think he's very good. I just want to keep the first hand that's not going to lose to itself. This hand only has one land, but I actually think it's really keepable. It's got both a Preordain and a Sensei's Top. It's got an Impulse and a Remand and a Night's Whisper and a Cyclonic Rift, so it's got all early game cards in the hand. Decent defense with the Remand. I can lead with the Preordain to look for lands. Even if I whiff, I'll still be able to curve into my top, and I'll be able to see 7 cards at least extra by the third turn, giving me good chances to find that second land and just keep going. And with the Impulse, I can pretty much dig through, and the Night's Whisper, the top fifth of my deck quite quickly to find pieces we're missing. And with the Rift and the Remand, we should be able to hold them off up until that point. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and playing first, I'm going to lead the Preordain. So we play an island, and we Preordain. We see a Tendrils and a Ponder. We obviously don't want the Tendrils, but we're actually going to keep the Ponder because the Ponder lets us see 4 cards instead of just the one that we dump off the Preordain. So we're going to go ahead and actually keep the Ponder here, and we're going to plan on casting it on the second turn. Our opponent leads a tapped land, so yet again, nothing going on, no mana dork, nothing like that. So, Mind's Desire off the top. Not what we're looking for at this stage in the game, but it's good that we have our first hit card here, and our first kind of real path to victory. So, we're going to go ahead and run that same Ponder out that we just talked about. Don't see any lands here. Copy Artifact and 2 defensive counter spells. We don't want any of that, so we're obviously going to shuffle. And there we hit the second island, which is great, because now we can curve directly into the top. We're not going to spend top on upkeep, and the reason is Impulse will dig us 4 plus the top decks, and now we have 5 top decks to find our next land. And I don't really want to spin that top, not find a land, and then not be able to cast it. I would rather cast the Impulse and then be able to spin the top afterwards. So Chain of Vapor off the top, another defensive card. Also combos with the Sensei's Divining Top, which is something you should always keep in mind. Wheel of Fortune, Necropotent, Slimdus Vault, and a Blood Crypt. We're obviously just going to take the Blood Crypt here because we need the mana. Go ahead and slam that down. He plays a Read the Bone, so he's crafting his hand as well. We're going to spin our top. We see Mana Confluence, Kebal Ritual, and a Lotus Petal. It doesn't really matter which way we pile them, because no matter what, we're going to cast the Night's Whisper to get all 3 cards and slam the Remand. Keep Remand up. We don't want to cast the Petal or the Kebal Ritual, because now we've got 2 gas cards to feed that Mind's Desire, and we're starting to see how we're going to win this game. So he swings in for 1. We're going to go ahead and Night's Whisper, play our land, and pass. He plays a Death Reef Ritual. This is not a card I'm scared of at all. Yet again, it looks like he's playing a fairly casual deck with a card he discarded there in the whatever that thing is, Dragon, that I didn't even read because I've never even seen it before. I guess if he's playing Reanimator, it's big, but it doesn't even, reading it doesn't do anything to me, so I really don't care. Unless I had Jeleva out, I guess if he rested, he could kill Jeleva. But, so I'm not really too worried about this. Consider remanding it just a cantrip since I'm pretty much goldfishing, but I decided I'd rather top, considering I might decide to just slow roll him even an extra turn if I don't feel like I can instantly win, because he's presented really no threat to kill me. And top gets to see 3 cards. So I go ahead and top. And I'm not really sure what the top of my stack was supposed to be, whether it was this Toxic Deluge or the Lion's Eye Diamond. If it was a Toxic Deluge, then not casting the Remand was good here. With the information we got and what we're going to do in the line we're going to take, if it was a Lion's Eye Diamond, I guess it doesn't really matter. But when I see an LED and a Vampiric Tutor here, we've already got 2 cards that are excellent for Yawgmoth's Will. We've got this Chain of Vapor, so we can literally draw 2 off this top. So I can hard draw one of these cards, use my top trick to get a Yawgmoth's Will off the top with this tutor. And if you count the storm here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're going to be recasting that. 5, 6 on the Yawgmoth's Will, 7, 8, 9. So at least 10 on this Mind's Desire. And honestly, we can turn this Cabal Ritual online. If you look right now, with Chain of It, we already have all these cantrips in the yard, which can be used with the Yawgmoth's Will, but 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3 cards we can put in the graveyard before even cracking the LED, so we can make this Cabal Ritual tap for 3 net. So we're going to have tons and tons of extra mana. We're going to be able to use one of these cantrips to slam the top back into play, and what that's going to do is make it a little easier for our Mind's Desire to get Future Top, if that's what it flips, and then we should have tons of floating mana extra for the Mind's Desire at 12, which should easily win us the game. So we're going to go ahead and do that. If you notice how long I paused there, I literally went through that whole line in about a minute in my head when I had that top flip. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use our Chain of Vapor trick right away. We're going to go ahead and get the Vampiric Tutor, crack the Petal right away because we want the Cabal Ritual online. Cabal Ritual, throw the top back out, drop our diamond, crack it, use the top to flip, Yawgwin, recast our diamond, immediately crack it before we put anything else in our hand. Reuse our Petal, reuse our Ritual, go ahead and grab that top off the top, nothing else that's really excellent there. Go ahead and cast the top. At this point with Storm 12, we don't really want to use any other mana. The floating mana is actually better than the extra cards we get off individual cantrips here. So, gamble pretty useless. Future Sight, interesting enough, was the first flip. So that makes the Future Top decision here look a little bit better. Unless we get some kind of other draw spell, since we're already underneath Yawgmoth's Will. Gamble's pretty dead. Counterspell's pretty dead. Island's pretty dead. Mox Opal could potentially be +1, but it's not yet. Island's actually +1 because we haven't played a land yet. Factor Fiction's excellent because it makes that gamble a little bit better when we get to draw more cards for free. Turnabout, once we hit the turnabout, we pretty much know we've won. That's instant win right there because that's the mana we were looking for. And our Stormcat's high enough, but since it's just one player, Tendrils is already lethal. I don't think I noticed that I hit this Dark Petition with the line I take. I don't even think I noticed I hit it. I think I just hit one more time. At this point, we're going to Vamp Tutor plus Remand. And what my plan was is just play the extra land High Tide and then Mind's Desire for 20, which is just easily a kill, even in a multiplayer game. I don't think I noticed I drew that Dark Petition. Otherwise, I could have just cast the Dark Petition and went straight into Tendrils. But yeah, we're going to cast the Mind's Desire for like 20 here. Could have even cast that Mind over Matter off the top as well for even mana. But yeah. So now we'll cast a Dark Petition and we'll kill with Tendrils. So might have looked like an unkeepable hand, and that was my thought process, cantripping, crafting the hand, and that's the game.